welcome you to a deep dive into the profound and often really understated ways love shows up in our lives and our homes. Today, we're kind of peeling back the layers of a truly resonant story, a memoir inspired by true events titled The Dog Who Waited at the Door by Shania Pandey.
Yeah, and this isn't just, a story about a dog. It's a really insightful journey into things like fatherhood, loyalty, um, unwavering loyalty, really, and how love just subtly transforms without ever truly fading away.
Mm.
We'll follow Bob, his daughter Allison, and their amazing dog Milo,
Mhm.
seeing how their lives and bonds evolve. And it's all viewed through this simple but powerful lens of, well, the front door.
Okay.
Our mission here is to try and pull out some surprising insights on how family love matures and what it genuinely means to be, truly present for the people and the pets who matter most to us.
Okay, so let's start with Bob. Before Milo came along, he had this very clear, unspoken set of rules about affection, didn't he? Like, keep your distance, avoid getting too attached.
Exactly. He preferred the independent nature of cats, like his childhood cat Putken,
Hmm.
elegant, self-reliant.
Right.
But there was something deeper driving that, wasn't there? That memory you mentioned,
Mm.
a Pomeranian named Pepsi.
Yes, Pepsi, and a really terrifying thunderstorm from his childhood that left him with this lasting sense of regret.
And that past experience is absolutely key to understanding Bob. His childhood basically taught him to read affection through actions, not words. I love you wasn't really something you heard.
Okay.
So when his 6-year-old daughter, Allison, totally captivated after watching Hachi, A Dog's Tale, turns to him and says, I want a puppy. Well, it kind of hit a nerve.
Yeah.
It reveals a man still guarding a part of himself that hadn't quite healed from that whole Pepsi thing.
Yeah.
He tried to laugh it off at first, but Allison, she was persistent.
Oh, incredibly persistent, day after day, right, for 2 solid weeks.
Yeah.
Her desire for this puppy was just so strong, and her mother, well, she saw something more in it, something maybe Bob needed too. So after some hesitation, maybe a knowing glance from his wife, and that feeling that something inside him was still locked up tight, he finally, reluctantly, said yes.
Reluctantly is the word.
Hmm.
He told himself it was all for Allison, but you have to wonder what was going on inside his head. What was he really thinking? What was the risk in saying yes?
Right.
I think his internal question was sort of like, what happens if this time the door doesn't stay closed? And Milo's arrival, it isn't this big, joyful moment for Bob, not at all. He's hesitant. He sees the feeding, the twice daily feeding, as just a task, like buying groceries, basically.
It's just another tour.
Exactly. But the book really highlights Milo's quiet, watchful presence during these moments. Milo is just there, not demanding anything, just present. When Bob got coffee, when he tied his shoes.
Hmm.
And slowly, Bob starts to feel seen in a way he maybe hadn't before.
It's amazing how that quiet presence can feel so profound, like being seen. We usually think of big gestures,
Right, or words. But the memoir suggests it's often in these quiet, unassuming moments.
So what was the actual turning point, that small thing that shifted Milo from being just a task to something more?
Well, the memoir points to this one specific evening. Bob's tired, long day. Milo's just standing by his empty bowl, watching.
Okay.
And when Bob kneels down to pour the food, Milo steps closer and just lightly brushes against his leg. A single touch of fur. Quick, deliberate, totally unexpected.
Wow.
And that simple touch, it just warmed something in Bob that had been, I guess, cold for a long time. It turned feeding from a chore into this shared ritual. Almost a silent language between them, building trust.
Yeah.
Not dramatic, just a quiet unfolding.
And that quiet unfolding leads straight into another key moment, doesn't it? The thunderstorm scene.
Oh, absolutely. Milo, terrified, shaking, curls up tight against Bob's leg.
And Bob, remembering Pepsi, remembering that guilt, he does something totally out of character. He actually picks Milo up.
He does. Awkwardly, maybe. But he picks him up, sits on the couch with him, and Milo just buries his nose under Bob's elbow inside this deep sigh. And in that quiet moment, that shared vulnerability, real trust blossoms. It cements the shift. He's not just the owner anymore. There's a real connection.
Yeah.
The book shows it so well, how real love often just tiptoes in, steady presence, not fireworks. It challenges that idea that deep bonds need some huge event. Sometimes it's just sitting together during a storm.
Okay, so Bob's door is finally kind of creaking open for Milo, but then what happens when this quiet trust meets the beautiful messiness of life with 2 babies growing up? Allison and Milo.
Daily chaos, right?
Yeah, and that shared chaos is actually portrayed as kind of magical. The memoir shows Milo and Allison just getting each other. Through rhythm, repetition, play, no shared language needed. They needed patterns, warmth, consistency. And what Bob realized later, maybe not right then, was that they were teaching him something. Pure.
And the stories illustrating that bond are just so charming, like Allison trying to feed Milo from her baby bottle,
Yeah.
giggling away. Yes. And the tummy time, escapades turning into slapstick comedy.
Right.
Allison grunting, Milo responding with these playful barks and sneezes, leading to crawling races and chasing tails across the living room.
It sounds adorable, but also kind of disruptive for structured Bob.
Totally. His neat world was being gently but completely taken apart by this spontaneous, unscripted love. And it raises a question, doesn't it? What do these messy moments teach us about real connection? About finding joy when things don't go to plan?
Definitely. And beyond the fun and games, Milo really steps up as Allison's protector, doesn't he? That story about her scraping her hand.
Oh, yeah, that's powerful. She scrapes her hand on the patio, and before Bob can even move, Milo just calmly walks over, leans in, and gently licks her hand.
Wow.
He didn't just comfort her, he literally replaced her fear with this sense of safety. That's when Bob really saw it. Milo wasn't just a pet, he was her silent guardian. Not with growls, but just pure devotion.
And that instinct shows up in big moments, too. Like her first day of preschool,
Right.
Milo waited for her, right? Not for Bob.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Stayed in her room until she got home. And even when she had a stomach bug, he just curled up outside the bathroom door, still as anything. Then later he'd jump on the couch and just lay his paw gently on her chest while she slept, like saying, "I'm here, I've got you."
It's incredible.
It really highlights how Milo filled these vital, often unspoken gaps, offering peace, comfort, without needing anything back. He became the constant, a quiet, steady heartbeat in a busy house.
Yeah.
He wasn't just in the house. He was woven into Allison's life, and Bob's too. It shows how love becomes sacred, stitched into everyday stuff, peanut butter and dog breath, growing because of the mess, not despite it.
Okay, let's talk about the front door. It's such a central symbol. For years, it meant that daily wagging welcome for Bob, a full-on parade, Allison squealing, Milo's tail going crazy, made him feel like a hero, he says.
Every single day. Didn't matter if he was gone an hour or a week. This wave of pure affection. He describes smiling so hard his face hurt. Because right there, at that door, he was loved out loud, unconditionally.
How did that ritual recharge him, especially after a tough day?
It became his holy moment. He literally writes that inside that door, gravity didn't matter. Love lifted everything, even on awful days, like that funny superheroes incident where they greeted him dressed up. Their pure joy just dissolved his stress, made him feel like a king. It was more than excitement. It was about presence, their unwavering belief that he was worth celebrating, a constant affirmation.
But then things start to change. Allison gets older. That evening parade isn't quite the same. Describe that shift, that first time he opened the door, and it was different.
Yeah, that moment is incredibly poignant. He opens the door, and it's just Milo.
Yeah.
That's the phrase used. No running feet, no squeals, just silence, quiet pause that hangs in the air.
Where's Allison?
She's on the couch, earbuds in, lost in her phone screen, looks up, gives a quick, distracted smile. It's not meant to be rude, but it's profoundly different. And the book explores that so tenderly, how growing up just kind of slips through the cracks. You don't always notice until a moment like that. An absence.
It's like watching the sunset. You don't realize it's night until it's dark.
Exactly. And it doesn't mean she loves him less, right? The memoir says love arrives differently.
Yeah.
It shifts from loud squeals to quiet text, maybe, big hugs, to just a from across the room. And the challenge for Bob, for any parent really, is learning to see love in these new, quieter forms without feeling like something's lost.
It's an evolving landscape.
Definitely.
But crucially, one part of the parade never changes. Milo. Milo never stopped. Even when Allison was busy, lost in her teenage world, Milo never missed a parade.
Never. He became this small white lighthouse, Bob calls him, steady, guiding Bob home. A constant reminder that his arrival still mattered, was still worth celebrating.
How did that constancy affect Bob, especially as Allison pulled away a bit?
It became his quiet anchor. As Allison's world got bigger, homework, friends, screens, Bob admits to missing Allison while she was still in the house.
Oh, wow. That's tough.
Yeah. But Milo, he never asked for thanks, never demanded attention. He just stayed nearby, a silent guardian outside her closed door, listening to her music.
Yeah.
He really embodied that love that doesn't fade. It just changes shape. Sometimes Bob would even whisper to him, "She's not coming." And Milo would just lie down, accepting it, teaching Bob acceptance, too, in his own quiet way.
And as Milo himself gets older, his love becomes even quieter, right? Slower steps, longer naps,
Yeah,
but still there.
absolutely steadfast. Through all the teenage stuff, arguments, triumphs, tears, celebrations, he was there. Even when Allison maybe stopped saying I love you out loud as much, she'd still instinctively reach down and scratch behind his ears.
Mm.
And Milo, in his quiet, loyal way, teaches Bob this huge lesson: how to love without needing to hold on to it.
It's profound.
It really is. It's not about bitterness. It's understanding that love grows broader, maybe gentler, deeper as roles change. Realizing that not needing to be needed doesn't make the love less. It just transforms it. Milo became this living link, didn't he? Between the giggling little girl and the young woman behind the closed door, the last tangible thread to those louder years.
And the story handles his passing so beautifully, quietly, but his impact, it lasts. Like those paw prints still visible by the door.
Exactly. The memory endures. Bob still feels him sometimes, hears a tail thump that isn't there, imagines him curled on the mat. It's an invisible thread connecting memory and heart.
And it brings Bob full circle back to Pepsi, doesn't it? That childhood guilt.
It does. It provides this powerful aha moment, redemption almost. Milo gave Bob the chance to do it right this time, to really embrace and cherish that steady, quiet presence he missed before. Milo becomes the ultimate symbol, really, of a love that doesn't have to be loud to be deep, the kind that just stays patiently, waiting by your side until you're ready. He taught Bob how to wait too, but with an open heart this time.
Wow. This whole deep dive into Gog who waited at the door, it just reveals so much about that unspoken language of love, how it evolves.
It really does.
Milo's journey with Bob and Allison, it teaches us that real love isn't always about the grand gestures or, constant attention. Sometimes it's just about presence, loyalty, the quiet act of simply being there.
And what's so resonant, I think, is how the book uses Milo's unwavering presence to mirror the often unseen love of parents.
Oh, interesting. How so?
Well, just like Milo waited for Bob and Allison,
Yeah.
your parents too are often quietly, patiently waiting for you. Even as you grow up, build your own life, they cherish those small connections, a hug, a quick hi, sharing a little story.
Right.
Those things remind them they're still a vital part of your life. Even when your door is closed or you're quiet at dinner, their hearts might still hold that gentle longing for the child you were, while loving the person you're becoming.
So what does this mean for you, the listener? It really raises an important question, doesn't it? In your busy life, with all your own growth and new things happening, are you noticing the quiet love that's waiting for you?
Yeah. The love that shows up in maybe meals cooked, rides given, laundry folded without being asked. The love that doesn't demand but just endures. This deep dive reminds us that love doesn't just stop because life gets busy or how we communicate changes. It adapts. It doesn't necessarily grow up like we do. It just waits, transforms, and stays.
Which leads us to our final provocative thought for you.
Right. Inspired by Milo's incredible loyalty and quiet presence. How can you become a Milo for the people who quietly, consistently wait for you? What small, everyday gesture could you make, maybe even today, to acknowledge and return that profound, often unnoticed love that's always there?